Okay, well, it's off to our next adventure for us. All right, welcome back, YouTube family and friends. Well, our next adventure leads us right here in my own kitchen. You're wondering what's he gonna make today? Since he's not at a restaurant doing a review, he's not doing Asian food. What's he doing? Well, I'm actually gonna make something I like. What do I like? Today I'm gonna make meatballs with brown gravy and mushrooms, and I'm gonna make mashed potatoes to go with it. And you're probably saying, oh, this guy, is he gonna make them good? Because I like my mashed potatoes good, I like my meatballs good, I like everything well prepared. Well, you won't be disappointed. So I'm gonna show you something. Look at this. So in my potatoes, I put some butter, some milk. Not all of the milk, people. Don't get stir crazy here. You want your potatoes creamy. You don't want them to the point where you could drink it through a straw. I mean, come on. Let's think about it here. Potatoes should have a good flavor. What do I put in mine? Well, I'm gonna put garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. Some of that sea salt. Salt does add flavor. It enhances flavor. Actually, is what salt does. And I'm using red potatoes. That's right. I'm not using russets or Idaho potatoes, the whites. I'm actually using red potato. The reds, where the skin color is red. And I will tell you this. During this process, I'm also going to show you how I'm going to prepare the meatballs. Now, I did not make the meatballs myself. I did buy them frozen from Walmart. So I'm just going to say that up front so you don't sit there and judge me wondering, did this guy make those meatballs himself? No, I'm cheating today. Why am I cheating? Well, one is Saturday, college football's on, and I would like to watch some of that eventually. So that being said, and I am a Michigan fan. I am a Wolverine fan, but I also like to see Penn State win, and I love to see the Navy win. Why Navy? Well, I was in the Navy. I have to support the home team, the brotherhood, as you would say. And since the Navy is the brotherhood, I'm supporting them. I'm rooting for them. I'm cheering for them. They're doing rather well this year. So hopefully, whatever bowl game they end up in, I hope they win it. And the same thing for Michigan and Penn State. Now the dogs with fleas that I don't care for, Ohio State. I'm sort of getting tired of Ohio State. I'm glad Alabama's sort of on a slump, and LSU. Those are the three schools I got tired of hearing about. It's time for some fresh blood. It's time for some new beginnings for some other teams, because I get tired of the same teams. Remember, I don't know if you remember in the 70s, maybe 80s, where USC was the big school. It was the one to go to, and I got tired of it. I got tired of USC also. But, growing up, I learned to like my own teams. And the teams I like I said, are Michigan, the Wolverines, Penn State, the Nittany Lions, and the Navy. Wow. Here we go. So to prepare myself for the meatballs, I'll show you. I'm using 2 bags of meatballs that are prepared already, home-style meatballs, okay? So these aren't the Italian style, whatever. They just, basically it's just seasoned ground beef, roll over the balls, pre-cooked. Thank you to Great White for our great value for doing that for us. Saved us time. I'll be adding mushrooms, and I will be adding McCormick's brown gravy. I'm a fan of McCormick because they're pretty consistent when it comes to how they're packaged and how it tastes and the flavor. It sort of reminds me of that childhood sense, when mom would make gravy and you wondered, how did mom make such good gravy? I mean, everybody would wish they could have mom's gravy again or grandma's gravy again. Just that one taste of your childhood. Well, McCormick is pretty close to it, and how I'm preparing things today is pretty close to how grandma and my mom would have made this. Now, with the exception, they would have never, ever ever buy frozen meatballs. You would get beat down like you stole something if that ever happened. But that being said, Grandma, I love you. She's with God. Mom, I love you. She's at a retirement home. So I'm on my own. So what am I gonna do? Gonna do it Phil's way. I still love and respect my grandmother, my mother. But as much as I love them, shortcuts have been implemented so I can make a nice YouTube video for my friends here and not spend 2 days trying to make one meal. So here we go. Let's get ourselves set up and let's get ourselves prepared. Okay, so I've already prepared the gravy mix. It's just the brown gravy in the bowl. Since I have 4 packets, I'm going to use approximately 4 cups. Okay, maybe a little more than 4 cups, and then mix it together before I pour it in. So what I've already done, and I'll show you this, I'll show you that. I've already put in the frozen meatballs and the mushrooms. They're just sitting there waiting for the gravy. And in case you're wondering how I'm cooking today, I'm using my Ninja. Yes, I'm using my crock pot. That's right. So my Ninja crock pot. Let's fire that baby up and turn it on. So it's going to be on high, okay? And you want it on high and slow cook, because this is gonna go for about 4 hours. All right. Anything longer than that, it's gonna burn, and we don't want it to burn. We don't want any issues. We just want good quality meatballs. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna finish mixing, and then we're gonna pour this mixture right into our meatballs. So you wanna see what I'm doing? Check this out. I'll show you. Let's fix this. I'm gonna fix this camera right up. There we go. I want you to see too. I don't want you to be spoiled. So here's the mix. I'm just mixing it up. You could look, if you don't have a whisk, you don't have something to mix it, you can use a regular fork. Okay, it's nothing fancy, nothing to be. You don't have to. My whole thing is you don't have to be fancy when preparing. So as I'm preparing the meatballs and whatnot, I did this once before, and I'll tell you what I did do. I didn't mix it with the water first. I just poured it in dry. And I can tell you this, lesson learned. Why is it a lesson learned? Well, because it tended to clump. And when it did that, I just basically, toward the end, I mixed it in so hopefully those clumps could break up. And here's what you do once this mix is put together. You're going to take the bowl. Well, you don't have to be perfect about it. Just pour it in there. Pour it in there. That's all you got to do. You don't have to be perfect, because what's going to happen is, we're going to put our lid on. Let's put our lid on. And our spoon they provided us is going to fit right on top. So when I need to stir it up every hour, probably want to give it a good stir on the hour. But that's what it's going to look like, you see? And here's the Ninja. And we're going to set this. We got it already, so it's on high. We're going to set the time. We don't want 6 hours. We want 4 hours. It's going to be on high. And the meatballs are already cooked, so we're not trying to recook them. So what's going to get cooked down is the mushrooms, because the water, I'm just going to absorb the gravy. The gravy is going to sort of act like a, it's going to be the boiling for us. It's going to do all that. So now that I've done that, we're going to hit start. There you go. The meatballs should be done in 4 hours. And the thing I like about this is, look, cleanup to me is easy. I'm okay with cleanup. I like to wash dishes, you know. Maybe I'm a little strange, who knows. But then again, maybe I was trained well. Clean up as you go. Makes your life simpler. Remember I said that in one of my earlier videos? If you clean up as you go, you have less issues when it's done, and it tastes better. Why does it taste better? Because you don't have a big mess sitting there before you. So on to the next phase. What's the next phase? I'm going to take this bag of potatoes. I'm going to peel them, I'm going to dice them, and I'm going to put them in a pot with water. So, as I jump over, we're going to fast forward to that right now. Here we go. Okay, so I went ahead and I peeled the potatoes, did some cleaning up in the interim, and I will show you real quick. Here are the potatoes. I don't cook potatoes, I don't boil potatoes whole. I cube them. It makes it easier in the cooking process. It's also faster. So if you like to boil your potatoes whole or half, that's up to you. But if you dice them, or not dice them, but if you cube them up like this, they cook much faster. Oh, and I'm going to say one more thing. When you put salt to make it boil faster, it's a wives' tale. Stop doing it. You're wasting good flavor on nothing but water that you're going to dump down the drain after you boil it. That doesn't serve any purpose. It cooks off anyway. So stop wasting it. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. So with the potatoes, the next thing you got to do is, once I've diced them up, I put them in the pot. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to definitely rinse them off, because once you've taken the skin off of the potato, it releases starches, and and starches, they sort of cause the discoloration, and it's its way of trying to heal itself, I guess you could say. But we're going to take it off, we're going to rinse it off, and this way you have a cleaner potato when the cooking is finished. You don't have, it's not dark, hinted with some kind of, too much starch in it. So if you're actually washing your starch low, it's a good way to do it. Wash it off. So, simple process, just a simple process. We take our pot with our potatoes that we already have. Cold water is fine. Cold water is fine. So, cold water is fine. Oh, here, I'll show you. That's what I'm talking about. You see how the water is discolored like that? See that? That's the stuff we're getting out of there. That's the stuff. We're getting out the grime, the dirt. We're getting out the discoloration. We're washing the potato, making it more clean. So that's what we're doing. That's all it is. Throw a pot of water, pour it out. Do it a couple times. Not hard to do. I'm going to do it one more time. Rinse off all the potatoes. Rinse it all off. I'm just going to get the water out. Dump it up. And now we're going to fill it back up. Now you're probably wondering, how much water does the pot need? We're doing 5 pounds of potatoes, give or take a half pound, somewhere along the line. I don't know who weighed them. But we're going to fill it up. You don't want it over full, you want it full. So just a little bit above the potato line. Okay, we're going to dump out a little because it's just too much. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. This is where it is. These are the potatoes, just a smidge above the potato line. See that? Just a smidge. Now look, I want to show you the cubing that I'm talking about. I cubed them up like that, like this. It doesn't have to be real. They don't have to be real big, and they don't have to be real small. And they're all going to be different sizes. So if you're a perfectionist and you got to measure everything out, you're going to be there a long time. Potatoes are going to cook. So look what we got left on our timer. We have 3 hours and 21 minutes. So this is going to sit in the water on the stove, and approximately in about, I would say, 45 minutes to when the meatballs are done, we're going to start the potatoes. Okay, so this way it gives it time for the water to boil, potatoes to cook, and it gives me time to go finish some of my laundry while I'm waiting for the main part of the meal to finish off. And before I leave, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Because it's been in there now for just a little over a half hour, so I don't expect much out of it. So there you go. I'm going to take our spoon. We're just going to give it a little turn just in case. Just in case. Okay, just in case, we're just going to give it a little turn. See, it's coming around. Right, that's all we're going to do. Let's put our lid back on. Put our lid right back on here. Put our spoon right back up here. There you have it. So I'm going to put this pot on the stove with the lid, and it's going to wait for approximately another 2 hours and 30 minutes. And after that, we'll start the potatoes, and I'll show you how I prepare them. So on to the next phase. Don't lose hope. Oh, and while you're here, hit that like and subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. In fact, I hope you find this actually helpful and educational, and no matter where you're at in the world, you can do the same thing. It's not rocket science. It's food preparation. It's basic. And if you have any recommendations what you'd like me to try to cook or make an attempt at cooking, send it to me. Put it in the comments. Don't make it so difficult where, I'm going to be here for 3 days trying to prepare one meal. That's just not a possibility. But I'm all in. I got an idea. Why not like a chicken? I'll think of it. I have the chicken. But I'm thinking. And it's going to be good. So brace ourselves. So on to the next phase. Laundry. Alright. So we fast forwarded past me peeling the potatoes. And during that time I was doing some laundry, and what I did was I set up the KitchenAid mixer so when I do the mashed potatoes, and I'm actually boiling and they're ready to be taken off. Now, how do you know when a potato is done? Well, you just I'll show you real quick. We'll show you. Easiest way to do it. Let's get it on a spoon. And what we do is just take a fork. You don't want to. You see how soft that is when you do that? Here, you can see it. Oh yeah, see, perfect. That was cooked perfect. And you're probably wondering how long does it take. Remember, I told you the significance of putting it in cubes like this, cutting them up small, not real small, but small enough, because they cook faster. It took me, I would say, about 30 minutes, maybe not even that, about 20 minutes to cook 5 pounds of potatoes in boiling water. Alright, so that being said, let's drain it out now and move on to the next part. So take our pot of water with the potato. I have a strainer, so some of you are a little more tougher than I, and you feel you can get away with just putting a lid over the top of the pot and running the risk of emptying the hot water into the sink without getting burned. Well, good luck. But I don't do that. I don't tempt fate like that. So here we go. So the next thing I did was I actually have 2 sticks of butter already in the bowl. All right. And as you can see, I have my paddle on the mixer. I do not have it plugged in yet. Why? Because I haven't prepared everything. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change, because I'm loading this bowl while it's in the sink. I don't want to be loading it while the paddle's moving and cause damage to myself or to the equipment or to the food. We just take it, we just put it right in the bowl. Alright? And there you go. It's in there. Now, one thing else I'm going to do, I want to show you is this. That's hot. And I'm not going to tell you it isn't. Let's get this done. So, I'm gonna add my ingredients now. So I'm gonna put in about I don't know, 3-4 tablespoons of black pepper. Okay? Now, black pepper. Okay? And set that aside. I'm gonna do the same thing with the onion powder and the garlic powder. Okay? About 3 tablespoons of the garlic powder. Garlic is a strong element in its own right, so too much of it, you know, it's always. Let me tell you one other thing. If it's for you, you make it the way you want it. Okay? I'm not telling you to follow my recipe. I'm only telling you make it the way you like it, because that's who it's going to matter, not me. And then 3 tablespoons of onion powder. That in there like that. Now, let me just give a little more. I don't think I put a whole. There we go. Alright, we set our ingredients off to the side. Milk. You're wondering, why milk? You want cream. You want it creamy, but you don't want to use heavy cream or whatever. Heavy cream has a way of causing the potatoes to merge together like glue, and that's what we do not want. We do not want glue. We don't want to eat glue or paste, whatever. We want to eat and enjoy the potato. So I'm going to put in right now about a half a cup right there as we start. Alright, so let's get the milk out of the way. We're going to take this over to our mixer and bring a spoon with us. There's our spoon. We need the spoon to knock it down. So as we mix it, lock it in place, plug it in on low, not high. Hold on, I have a splash guard too. Let me put that in place. There we go. Splash guard. This is a splash guard for the mixing bowl. Yeah, I really don't want it all over the place. You know, it's already lock, and then we're going to slide it on the bowl like so. It's on there. Alright, lock it down. Start off low, not high, low. Guess we don't need it. I'm better at this than I thought. So let me show you what it looks like. So there you go. This is on low. Put some spoon. Knock down the sides. Okay. So as it's beating up the clumps of potato, we can feel a little more inspiration. So, see how that's doing? So that banging you hear is the beater hitting against the bowl, because it's actually doing its job. Now I did it on phase 1, phase 2. Now I'm going to bump it up one more. There you go. I think it needs just a tad more milk. Just a tad. We don't need half a gallon. Oh. Just a tad. There we go. One thing I should also tell you is turn it off if you give it a tad. Otherwise, just gonna go everywhere. We don't want that. That's coming. Look at that. Oh, that's so good. Alright, so it's not smooth, but it's okay the way it looks right now. I'm okay with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna plate up the potatoes. Let me show you here. Ooh, I'm a little excited about that. Put you some potato right on the plate. Alright, get that out of the way. Now, I want to do an update on the crock pot. My suggestion is, if you have a crock pot like mine or something that's similar to mine, okay, and you put it on high, put it to do your meatballs with the gravy and the mushrooms, 2 hours is fine. So what I wound up doing is I cut back an hour, and I also turned it on low, okay, for an hour while the potatoes cooked. And as you can see, I have 19 minutes left. I have 19 minutes left on here, so I'm actually done with it. And I can turn it off. Goodbye. And then we'll take the lid off of our crock pot. Another thing I like about the Ninja crock pot, it's very, very easy to clean. Very easy to clean. So here's our plate. We're gonna get in there. Let's mix it up. Get in there and mix it up, do well. Mix it up. You want to see what it looks like? Great. Here's what it looks like on the inside. Look at that. See how it turned out? That's exactly what we want. That's the consistency we're looking for. So, if you were watching the whole video, you'll see this is the end product right here. Now, I added mushrooms, but you could add whatever you want into your crock pot, however you want it. This is just, remember, this is just made for my liking. And if you ever have me over at your house and you've made something sort of similar but you added to it, that's to your liking, and I'm okay with that, because if I'm a guest in your house, the last thing you want to do is complain. So let's finish plating this up. We have our potatoes on. We grab our meatballs, put it on the potato. Yes, look at that. Right on the potato. Put it on. Yeah, don't be afraid of it. You know, get some sauce in here. Get some sauce in here, baby. There we go. Look at that. We don't want to be crazy with it. Alright. So, this is how it looks. Look at that. Look at that. This is how it looks. Now, how does it taste? Just so happens, I have a tool. This is a fork. I'm going to take a little of that, put it with some mashed potato. Yeah. This is perfect. Look. This is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect. Did I tell you it was perfect? I mean it. It's perfect. So, that was our adventure for today. I look forward to having you join me again when I do something else different. Tomorrow is going to be a little different. I already have it lined up. Tomorrow, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but join me. It has nothing to do with food. It has everything to do with relaxation and tension. Okay? Okay, I gave a little bit away. What am I talking about? I'm going to a massage shop. Okay? Highly professional massage shop. We're gonna do a video there. Join me tomorrow, will you? Hit that like and subscribe. Also, if you're ambitious enough, hit that notification bell. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to watch my videos, and it absolutely costs you nothing to hit that notification bell. So please join me. Thank you so much for being here and watching today's video. And I'm ever more appreciative to everyone who contributes by watching or subscribing. And I say thank you. Because without you, this channel would just be me talking to myself. So, and don't say it. You've all done it before. You've all talked to yourself. We all have done it. So again, thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Thanks.
And we're off to our next destination.